When the men of the Gaba'ah had fatally raped his concubine, the man of Lewi came to his house and took a knife and laid hold on his concubine and divided her limb by limb into 12 pieces and sent her throughout all the borders of Israel. And it was so that all that saw it said, A thing like this hath not been made to become, and hath not been seen from the day that the children of Israel came up out of the land of Mithraim to this day. Consider it, take counsel, and speak. Shofetim, Judges chapter 20. Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was assembled as one man from Dan even to Beersheba, with the land of Galaad, to Yahweh at Mathepha. And the chiefs of all the people, even of all the tribes of Israel, presented themselves in the assembly of the people of the God, 400,000 footmen that drew sword. Now the children of Benjamin heard that the children of Israel were gone up to Mathepha, and the children of Israel said, Tell us how this wickedness hath been made to become. And the Lewi, the husband of the woman that was murdered, answered and said, I came into the Gaba'ah, which belongeth to Benjamin, I and my concubine, to lodge. And the lords of the Gaba'ah rose against me, and beset the house round about me by night. Me they thought to have slain, and my concubine they forced, and she died. And I took my concubine, and cut her in pieces, and sent her throughout all the country of the inheritance of Israel, for they have committed lewdness and folly in Israel. Behold, ye children of Israel, all of you, give here your advice and counsel. And all the people arose as one man, saying, We will not any of us go to his tent, neither will we any of us turn to his house. But now this is the thing which we will do to the Gaba'ah. We will go up against it by lot. And we will take 10 men for the 100 for all the tribes of Israel, and 100 for the 1,000, and 1,000 for the myriad, to fetch victuals for the people, that they do, when they come to the Gaba of Benjamin, according to all the folly that they have wrought in Israel. So all the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man. And the tribes of Israel sent men through all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, What wickedness is this that is become among you? Now therefore deliver up the men, the sons of worthlessness that are in the Gaba'ah, that we may put them to death, and put away evil from Israel. But Benjamin would not hearken to the voice of their brothers, the children of Israel. And the children of Benjamin gathered themselves together out of the cities to the Gaba'ah, to go out to battle against the children of Israel. And the children of Benjamin were numbered on that day out of the cities 26,000 men that drew sword, besides the inhabitants of the Gaba'ah, who were numbered 700 chosen men. Among all this people there were 700 chosen men left-handed. Everyone could sling stones at a hairbreadth and not miss. And the men of Israel, besides Benjamin, were numbered 400,000 men that drew sword. All these were men of war. And the children of Israel arose and went up to Bethel and asked counsel of God. And they said, Who shall go up for us first to battle against the children of Benjamin? And Yahweh said, Yehudah shall go up first. And the children of Israel rose up in the morning and encamped against the Gaba'ah. And the men of Israel went out to battle against Benjamin, and the men of Israel set the battle in array against them at the Gaba'ah. And the children of Benjamin came forth out from the Gaba'ah, and destroyed down to the ground among Israel on that day 22,000 men. And the people, the men of Israel, encouraged themselves, and set the battle again in array, in the place where they set themselves in array the first day. And the children of Israel went up and wept before Yahweh until even. And they asked of Yahweh, saying, Shall I again draw near to battle against the children of Benjamin, my brother? And Yahweh said, Go up against him. And the children of Israel came near against the children of Benjamin the second day. And Benjamin went forth against them from the Gaba'ah the second day, and destroyed down to the ground of the children of Israel again 18,000 men. All these drew the sword. Then all the children of Israel and all the people went up and came to Bethel and wept, and sat there before Yahweh, and fasted that day until the even. And they offered ascending offerings and peace offerings before Yahweh. And the children of Israel asked of Yahweh, for the ark of the covenant of the God was there in those days. And Pinehas the son of Eleazar the son of Aaron stood before it in those days, saying, Shall I yet again go out to battle against the children of Benjamin my brother, or shall I cease? And Yahweh said, Go up, for tomorrow I will deliver him into thy hand. And Israel set ambushes against the Gaba'ah round about. And the children of Israel went up against the children of Benjamin on the third day, and set themselves in array against the Gaba'ah as at other times. And the children of Benjamin went out against the people, and were drawn away from the city, and they began to smite and kill of the people, as at other times in the highways, of which one goeth up to Bethel, and the other to Gaba'ah in the field, about 30 men of Israel. And the children of Benjamin said, They are smitten down before us, as at the first. But the children of Israel said, Let us flee, and draw them away from the city to the highways. And all the men of Israel rose up out of their place, and set themselves in array at Baal-Tamar. And the ambushers of Israel broke forth out of their place, even out of Ma'areh-Gabah. And there came opposite the Gaba'ah 10,000 chosen men out of all Israel, and the battle was sore, but they knew not that evil was close upon them. And Yahweh smote Benjamin before Israel, and the children of Israel destroyed of Benjamin that day 25,100 men. All these drew the sword. So the children of Benjamin saw that they were smitten, for the men of Israel gave place to Benjamin, because they trusted to the ambushers whom they had set against the Gaba'ah. And the ambushers hasted and rushed upon the Gabaa, and the ambushers drew themselves along, and smote all the city with the edge of the sword. Now the appointed sign between the men of Yisrael and the ambushers was that they should make a great cloud of smoke rise up out of the city. And the men of Yisrael turned in the battle, and Benjamin began to smite and kill of the men of Yisrael about 30 persons. For they said, "Surely they are smitten down before us, as in the first battle." And the cloud had begun to arise up out of the city in a pillar of smoke, and Benjamin turned behind him, and behold, the whole of the city went up in smoke to the skies. And the men of Yisrael turned, and the men of Benjamin were dismayed, for they saw that evil was come upon them. Therefore they turned their backs before the men of Yisrael to the way of the wilderness, but the battle followed hard after them, and they that came out of the cities destroyed them in the midst thereof. They enclosed Benjamin round about, and chased him, and trod him down at a resting place, as far as opposite the Gabaa toward the sunrising. And there fell of Benjamin 18,000 men. All these were men of valor. And they turned and fled toward the wilderness, to the rock of Remmon, and they gleaned of them in the highways 5,000 men, and followed hard after them to Gadaom, and smote of them 2,000 men. So that all who fell that day of Benjamin were 25,000 men that drew the sword. All these were men of valor. But 600 men turned and fled toward the wilderness to the rock of Remmon, and abode in the rock of Remmon 4 months. And the men of Yisrael had returned upon the children of Benjamin, and they smote them with the edge of the sword, both the entire city and the cattle, and all that they found. Moreover, all the cities which they found they set on fire. Now the men of Yisrael had sworn in Mathepah, saying, "There shall not any of us give his daughter to Benjamin for a woman." And the people came to Bethel, and sat there till even before the God, and lifted up their voices, and wept a big weeping. And they said, "O Yahweh, the God of Yisrael, why is this become in Yisrael, that there should be today one tribe lacking in Yisrael?"